The Packers put themselves into a very strange spot during the 2020 draft when instead of rocking with their offensive core of guys that got them to the NFC Championship the year prior, that core being quarterback 2020 MVP Mr. Aaron Rodgers, you got running back Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams, and then wide receiver Devontae Adams, they instead opted to trade up during the first round for a quarterback in Jordan Love when Rodgers had 4 years left on his deal, may I add. And during the second round, they drafted A.J. Dillon to most likely replace Jones and Williams during this free agency. So I just would like to talk about the Packers and the limbo that they're in from here on out. Because boy, is it strange, it's weird, and I don't know how this is going to work out during this offseason. So without further ado, let's get into the 2021 NFL offseason talk, starting with the Packers free agency list. The Packers free agency list is a lot of offensive guys, and we saw them start to prepare for this during last year's draft, but they did not prepare for it fully the right way to me. Let's start off with the skill position players that most likely are gone. So Aaron Jones, definitely gone. Jones is gone. The Packers, they have no cap space. They're like right at that zero number. I'm pretty sure they're just in the negative, so they might have to cut someone. But the Packers, there's no chance they bring back Jones. They didn't franchise tag him, which is super interesting to me. I don't know why you wouldn't want to go win now. But yeah, Jones is definitely gone. And Jamal Williams, I hope the Packers can find a way to bring him back because I like A.J. Dillon a lot. I'm not trying to shit on A.J. Dillon. He's a really good back. But I do think having two running backs is such a crucial part, and do the Packers really want to go and spend another draft pick onto a running back? I don't think that's a very efficient way of using your draft pick. So I really think they should try to bring back Jamal Williams as much as they can. Moving on to some of the other skill position players, this is in the restricted free agency list. You do have tight end Robert Tanyan and wide receiver Alan Lazard. I think you prioritize these two the absolute most because Robert Tanyan, it's really hard to find a good tight end in the NFL, especially a tight end that makes the jump that Tanyan did from 2019 to 2020. No one knew Tanyan's name in 2019. At least I didn't. And in 2020, he made himself a household name for the tight end community, putting up I forgot how many touchdowns it was, but he was definitely a Pro Bowl snub. He was a fantastic tight end in 2020. And for Alan Lazard's case, it really is just the fact that the Packers, you can never really have enough weapons, and it comes to restricted free agency where I'm almost certain that you can go like over the cap with that. I definitely think like why the hell not? Like this benefits both Rodgers and Jordan Love bringing back Lazard. And now I would like to talk about Rodgers and Jordan Love and just more of the limbo that they're walking in. Then I'll get back more into the free agency and the draft talk. But the limbo that they're in, I would like to explain this some more. The limbo that they're in is they cannot go all in on winning now. They simply cannot do that because then that leaves the team when Jordan Love takes over in 2 to 3 years in shambles. That would leave that team complete garbage. Jordan Love would probably be unhappy, and with the way the contract is working out, probably a year or two into his actual starting years, well, he's going to need some extension, and he could potentially leave then. So you cannot go all in on winning right now. But on the other hand, well, they're in a weird spot. They're in a very weird spot because they have to also prepare for the next 5 to 10 years with this guy, Jordan Love. So they have to draft more skill position players, which we saw them do last draft when they drafted Mr. A.J. Dillon, but they didn't draft receivers. You can see how this doesn't really make sense. And trust me, it does, but the Packers made it not make sense. It's weird. That did not make sense what I just said. But the Packers, that is the limbo that they're in. They cannot go all in on winning now because the team that Jordan Love would have would be in shambles. But on the other hand, they can't really ignore the fact that they have MVP Aaron Rodgers right now. So that is the limbo. So more free agency talk. Robert Tanyan, you have to bring him back. There's simply nothing else to that. That is priority number one to me. That is also realistic. You got Alan Lazard. Definitely try to bring him back too. Jones is fucking out of there. He's gonna want some money. Probably gonna go down to Jacksonville or potentially Miami. Then when you look at Jamal Williams, he probably won't ask for too much money. You have him and A.J. Dillon. Yeah, it sucks losing Jones, but at least you kind of have that long term. They kind of set themselves up for losing Jones, which is interesting to me. But hey, I'm not going to get into that. That happened last draft. Then you look more into the offensive line. First team All-Pro Corey Linsley is a free agent. And, well, he's most likely gone because the Packers have no money. So, yeah, I do think Lindsey would be like the number one priority for them, but they don't have money. So that's a strange spot to be in. You absolutely don't have money, so he's definitely gone. Let's move on to some draft talk now. So yeah, what's their number one draft needs in my opinion with their first round pick? Definitely wide receiver 2. 100%. They should have done it last year. They didn't do it last year. A name that I would love to see them bring in with their first round pick is wide receiver from Florida, Kadarius Toney. And the reason for that being is his just dynamic playmaking ability would both work right now and for the future of the Packers. Right now, it would work because you pair him up with Devontae Adams. That's a really, really, really fun duo. Because when you look at it, Devontae Adams, you got one of the best in the game. He requires a bunch of attention from the defense. Then you have Kadarius Toney, let's just say he pans out long term. With his dynamic playmaking ability, you have to pay attention to him too. So that could be a fantastic 1-2 punch there. Another name I could see them using their first round pick on is definitely Landon Dickerson, center from Alabama. And this is a direct response to them losing first-team All-Pro center Corey Lindsey. I think you definitely got to bring in a center now that could potentially be Jordan Love's center for 10 to 15 years. But to me, the reason why these picks work so well, one, Kadarius Toney, the reasons these picks work so well with them being in limbo is one, Kadarius Toney. He gives you a playmaker that could help you win right now, and two, like when he pans out and when he develops into the player that he can be, or more like hopefully when he develops into the player that he can be, that is when Jordan Love will be starting for the Packers, and then he'll just instantly be dropped into this offense with a dynamic playmaker. The reason why a Landon Dickerson pick would work really well is because you have a center long-term for Jordan Love, so that would work really well right there. My only gripe about these two picks, kind of going back into the limbo conversation, looking at the current quarterback with Aaron Rodgers, well, Kadarius Toney, as much as I like him being a Florida fan, I do think he will have a bit of a transition period going from college to the NFL. That's a tough jump for the speedy, fast, hyper athletic guy to make, especially when you're as small as Kadarius Toney is. Then with the Landon Dickerson pick, well, a rookie center with Aaron Rodgers when you're trying to win games, and having a rookie wide receiver too, that's going to have a rough transition. Trying to win games then, that is tough. And then that just goes back to the limbo that the Packers are currently in between trying to go win now and trying to look towards the future. Then we got those two picks are great for the future, and I think that's what the Packers are going to look to do. Not great for Rodgers right now. I kind of just wanted to get on and talk about the Packers offense and just the weird spot they're in this offseason. The Packers defense, it's good. They are 7th in pass defense, I believe, and 10th in rush defense. That could be vice versa. And they were 15th in scoring defense. So the Packers defense should not require much attention this offseason. It's not great, but on the other hand, it's good. So, it should be able to hold over for one more season as LaFleur and Gutekunst try to figure out this offense, which they are definitely having a blast with since they kind of fucked it up during the 2020 draft. So, yeah, that's going to do it for me today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend or two. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button, and then you'll see more videos like this. Hope you enjoyed, and have a great day.